Hello, Miami. Welcome to Let's Chat with Disco George. Today is the International Women's Day, and I'm telling you, I got the best woman in town to come and tell us all about her location, Showstoppers. She's been with the Heat for years. She's a writer, artist, choreographer. It's unlimited, the potential this woman has. I've known her for over 20 years, and from the moment I met her, I knew she had the it factor. And boy, was I right. Susie, welcome. You are it. You got it.
Thank you for having me.
How many times have people asked you that you told you that you have it?
Oh, I mean, it's a beautiful thing to hear, and when I hear that, it's so nice. It's a really cool compliment, so I'll take it.
Well, I remember, oh my God, when you were dancing, and I could see the passion that you would put. And even though there was 20 other girls or 15, I don't remember the exact amount. There was always a different amount, but you always gave not 100 but 200%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's just for life, and not only with with the Heat, but just I guess how I was just brought up. You can always do more. You can always do more. You can always give more, and that's how I live every day.
You guys give 100% or two. Susie gives
Let's
2.
Go. Exactly.
Well, let's start with that, since you know from the beginning. What was it that I'm sure you probably even know the day that sparked in you and you said, I'm going to be a professional. Well, not a professional, but you're going to become a dancer.
It's funny. People would think that from the get-go I knew, and I knew I always loved it. I started at 5 dancing flamenco, and then at 16 I actually quit. I quit dancing, and it was just because I wanted to be, try the friend thing and just be a 16-year-old. And just months went by, and I was like, wait, what is going on with my life? I felt completely different. I felt very disengaged also, and I went back, and ever since then it's part of my life every single day, 7 days a week, every day.
Was it the teacher, or was it the camaraderie?
Thankfully, I've always had great mentors, and Pepe Bronce was my first teacher in flamenco, and that was a studio I went to, an all flamenco studio, and I learned so much from him, and I continue to learn. He's a mentor of mine, and it was just something that I wanted to be the cool kid, or just to hang out with my friends, and I realized that wasn't it. So from then on, I remember even being in college in New World School of the Arts, my friends telling me, come out and let's go out. In the Heat, they used to call me the party pooper because I would always say no to going out.
Oh my God.
Because I had to be in ballet class at 8 o'clock in the morning starting. So I had to be there by 7:15 to warm up. And it was just this click in my mind that I said, I have no time to waste, and although I love my friends and to hang out for sure, but I just saw a bigger picture in my future.
Did you get that maybe from your parents? Where did you get that from? Or was it something that just was within you?
Yeah, I think from my grandparents, definitely. My parents as well. There was always this you gotta go, you gotta work, you gotta do it. My grandfather Coco, he always had this instill. He borderline, even when he was retired, he was working, and it was just this, why just sit still and do nothing? It was always this, let's go, you can do more. And me, I guess in me, I always wanted more. Just standing still and not having a project or doing gets me, a little antsy. I have to work on that, but constantly learning is what I love to do. So if I'm constantly learning, I can always give back in creating.
Exactly. And creativity is the key to dancing. I don't know if this has happened to you, but I've been dancing. I used to dance,
Yes, you have.
but I remember back in the day when I was feeling really good in dancing, you would get in a zone, and when you get in that zone, it's like the world is in slow-mo, and everything is perfect. Have you ever had that feeling?
And it's so awesome that you experience that, because
Yes.
I say normal people don't experience that. So the fact that you've experienced it, you understand this artistic world. And that's what I really, really try and engage with dancers on. This is such a beautiful place to be. It's such a beautiful world. It's so much more than just the steps. It's really about in that zone, in our own world, that you just get lost, and it feels so good to be in there. And when you get out, you're like, oh man, it feels really empowering to be in that world. So the fact that you've been there, that feels so good, right?
Exactly.
It really does.
We've been in the zone.
Yes, definitely.
Let me ask you, I know Showstoppers is not your typical dance studio or what I call dance factories.
Right.
I've seen those, and you see that they do the simple routines and this and that. Your location is more for, let's say, into the teens, when they're thinking of taking the next step.
Exactly. I was brought up, like I said, in a flamenco studio. And then from there, I had to really branch out. And I remember just trying to get so much resources from different places and not really knowing where to go for it. So my dream was always to have that home, that safe space, that hub, that creative place where people could find a home in there, be in the zone, and then get a little bit of a push to go out and go, you can do this for life. You can have an opportunity. You can network. You can get better as a dancer, as an artist, and as a human being. Because a great dancer doesn't exist without being a good person. And that's my ultimatum. And what we believe in the studio is awake the artist in you. A dancer, there's so many dancers out there, but a true artist is one that really engages with this art form and appreciates it and does it for the love and to make people feel something, to make yourself feel something, and to make a difference, really, because what we do is very powerful.
Exactly.
So yeah, and it's for those teens that are maybe stuck and they don't really know what to do next. We help them and we guide them, and I really try and I say push them to see
it's like a nudge.
What kind of person they could be as an artist, and then give them that idea and then go and flourish and fly,
What year was it that you opened up Showstopper?
I opened up Showstopper Miami in 2009, and I legit went from the heat, left the heat, went straight to So You Think You Can Dance, season 4. And right after So You Think, I opened up the studio because there was so much craze about being the only Miami girl in So You Think, and it was such a big hype and TV shows and interview. I was like, man, this is the time to do it. It has to be now. And
if you don't mind me asking, more or less how old were you then?
I was 24 when I auditioned and 25 right when I got in the show.
Wow. How was it? Tell me that feeling, because I'll tell you, I was so happy when I saw you. I was like, I gotta vote for Susie. Where I was like, "Dame celular." We're calling from different phones. We have to represent, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's. I was right again. I was like, she is good. And I know you. What number did you make it to?
I was top 20.
Top 20.
I was top 20, and then unfortunately, I was let go. The third week.
Yeah, but I voted for you.
Thank you.
I voted for you. And tell me, wasn't that like almost like the roots that made everything grow?
It definitely it was a pretty chaotic thing because I auditioned in Michigan, and I'm sorry, not Michigan, Milwaukee. And it was snowing out. It was so cold. It legit, the line wrapped around the whole arena. And I was the only person that was chosen in that city. And when I got on the show, it was before social media. I mean, we had MySpace, if anybody remembers that. Yeah. And it wasn't so engaging with people like how it is now. It's very different, And I just felt this overwhelming support from everybody in Miami. And I was just like, wow. And I remember people hitting me up from ages ago. And I said to myself, I'm going to answer every phone call that I get. everything that I get, because I don't want anyone to feel that because I was now here that I was any more than any, because it wasn't that way. And I just remember sitting outside on my porch, like just talking to everyone that called me. Oh my God, good job. Thank you. And I would switch it. And it was, I felt so good with the love that I was shown, because I was repping Miami. And you know, I'm all about the 305, and I'm so diehard Miami, and where I'm from, I'm very, very eager to be here, and obviously, you know, my studio's in Hialeah.
Exactly.
And it's a city that you know, not have a lot of people that you think have the means of performing or money or whatever.
Right.
But man, we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of great people out there.
Well,
so.
they say Hialeah es la ciudad que progresa.
Exactly. So there we are.
And you've progresado. So
yes, we have.
You're like the perfect poster child for Hialeah and the 305.
Yeah, and I say it proudly, because when people ask me, I'm in Hialeah, born and raised in Hialeah Hospital. I was born. Yeah,
Hialeah Hospital too.
Yeah,
oh wow.
Yeah, Hialeah. So,
Hialeah.
And Miami's my favorite. I love Miami, and I stayed here. I could have moved to New York. I could have gone to LA. I had opportunities, and people don't know this, but I did, and I didn't go there because my inside and what I felt was I needed to make a difference here in Miami. I wanted to bring a space. I wanted to bring choreography. I wanted to be that person to ignite people and be that mentor that I was out searching for so many different ways, you know?
Exactly.
And I feel like that we've done that, and I've done that, and I continue to do so. So
well, that's the beauty of you, because when a dancer comes to you, and with the parents, I'm sure you get a lot of feedback.
Some. I usually get the ones that without parents.
Oh, really?
Like, not that they don't have, but just with they're on their own now. Like
they're independent.
They're independent. They're seeking out, and you know, you lose that. Sometimes parents don't dance, and they don't know where to take their kids to. They don't know what's the next step. So that's where I come in and trying to guide them there. And
let me ask you, what different styles are you teaching at the studio?
So we teach everything. We have a little bit of everything. I have an amazing faculty and staff that we ignite in everything from hip hop to Afro to jazz to ballet technique, jazz funk, Bollywood, which is so awesome and beautiful. And I teach a lot of heels. So we have a heels club, and what that is women that want to feel themselves and want to feel empowerment, not necessarily with it being, you know, too sexy or too raunchy or too showing too much skin. It's really about a sexiness that lives inside of them, no matter what you're wearing. You can be in sweats and a t-shirt and still feel very sexy. And I'm a true believer in that. With that, I was a heat dancer. You know, I wore a lot of
heels,
you know, and outfits, costumes, you know?
Definitely, yeah.
And I want to implement that with any dancer, any body form, any height, any color, just that to feel good in their skin. And that's what my heels club is about. My heels classes is the person that hasn't danced in a long time to the person that wanted to dance from the beginning and never got the chance to those that are dancing. And sometimes, you know, they say, oh, if you dance for so many years, you're so confident in this. And I see a lot of dancers that aren't, or that second guess themselves.
Or they try a new style.
Yeah, and they just don't feel confident in it.
Exactly.
So this Heels Club really promotes that and ignites that creative confidence in them to push it a little bit more with the heel.
All right. Now, I'm going to have a question. I'm sure all the ladies are going to want to know. All right. I'm sure you get this question a million times. What minimum size heel can you use?
That's a great question. Great question. You know, they have 2-inch, 3 inches. I always say, try it first. Have something that supports your ankle, and, you know, start off with the 2-inch. If you're starting to feel very confident in it, then we could go up from there. Definitely not recommend a 5 or 6 inch, because you're not going to be able to move throughout choreography, and you're not going to feel comfortable. So between 2 and a 3.5 inch heel.
And you have beginners, intermediate,
yes,
professional.
All three. I have beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And I have a lot of advanced that take beginner just to start and go a little slower. I have a lot of beginners that throw themselves into advanced, which is awesome because to feel an extra challenge. So we do offer all three.
Wow. And can you tell me any like stories of somebody that didn't know how to dance and took the class and now is like a totally different person?
You should come in and bring in and interview some of them. That would be really, really cool.
I thought about that, but it's, you know, I was just happy to get you here because I know you're it's very difficult to.
I have so many, and I'm so proud of that because I get messages a lot saying thank you. You've instilled something in me that I didn't know I had, or you instilled something. You reminded me of what I was. And I forgot. And I have in particular, I have a couple of girls too that take my classes all the time religiously, and I've seen their growth. That I'm like, wow, do you see it? Do you feel it? Because every time I look at them, I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Look at this, and it's so beautiful to see. Obviously, I'm a creator and I love dancing because I'm a dancer. I'm a choreographer. I create, but seeing the growth in them just makes it all that like wow, because I know that my teachings is doing something.
It makes a difference.
It does make a difference. Yeah. And that's from a beginner point. I have so many girls that are on tour right now as well. So that that industry as well, that they got there. Right. And before they were like, I would have never thought. But it's just about giving someone an opportunity.
Exactly.
You know? And a lot of people don't do that.
I don't know if do you watch other dance shows? Yes, no. Do you ever watch? Did you watch last season of Dancing with the Stars?
I don't watch dance shows as much as you would probably assume I do.
I thought you would watch them.
I'm not. I'll see if it's there. You know, obviously, I love all of them and I support all of them.
Well, the reason I ask is because I think it's her name is Allison Warner or something. She's the actress that is famous for something at band camp. You know, que tiene el pelo rojo.
Yes.
She was partnered with Sasha. You know who Sasha is, of course. And she did a transformation.
Yeah.
And she was an actress. She never ever had taken a dance class before. When she started, tenía, como dicen, dos pies izquierdos.
Yeah.
Como dicen los cubanos, patona. If you don't know what patona is, it's like a really bad dancer. But she ended up doing the journey of little by little going through the process, which is so important to go through the process, which a professional dancer knows how to guide you. And she ended up going into at least into the finals.
Wow, look at that.
And her transformation as a person, not only mentally, but physically, was a totally different person. And that's one of the reasons why I love watching these shows, because once in a while you get to see that incredible journey of a person. And they say, the judges say it all the time. Mm-hmm. And I want to talk about judging later.
Yeah.
But it was like they give them their little critiques. Sasha would work it in. And she got so, it was like, and that Dancing with the Stars is only a couple of weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
And they only have a week to learn. But it's incredible that somebody, no dance experience whatsoever, within, I would say, 2 months, looked like a professional dancer.
And that's where, in the heels, is where I encourage women, or your feminine energy, because you can be a woman or a man. If you're just feeling that energy, you can come in and take your class. But ultimately, what you can feel, and we don't notice that because we go, oh wait, that's too much. I've never done that before. We're so afraid of the unknown, and we're so afraid of jumping into something new. But when you feel it, you go, oh wow, this feels really good, Yeah. And the transformation is amazing.
I wanted to ask you a little bit. You were at Dancing with the Stars. You did some choreography.
Yes.
How did it feel being in the room where it happens?
It was pretty cool. I've actually been in Dancing with the Stars as a dancer when I danced with Mia Michaels in Rock of Ages. And then I was able to come back and I did choreography for Pitbull in the finale. And it was really, really nice. It was really nice to just feel that energy of the room, obviously what you see on TV and all of that. And it was really cool. And obviously with the man himself, the 305. So it's an ongoing of like that Miami flavor and that rep that I always love.
Yeah. Well, I love Pitbull. And, did you go to his last concert that he had here?
I have I have a couple of my girls that are in there. Yeah, two of my girls.
The most bad ones?
They're changing.
The bad ones, as they call them?
The most bad ones, they're changing here. Yeah, I didn't go to the last one, but of course I know they rehearse at the studio and all of that. Yeah. So,
he was the best performer.
Yes.
And, when you listen to Pitbull, first of all, he gets raw. He doesn't care. He says it like it is.
Exactly.
But he's such an inspiration. And when I see him, when I see you, I feel so proud to be, Cuban American, and that you guys are doing so well because you're, like they say, you're on our team.
Yeah, that's right.
It's true. So when you succeed, I succeed.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Pitbull, of course, Mr. Worldwide. He's taken over the world.
Yeah, he really has. It's really cool to see. Really cool to see.
Let's talk a little bit about once the dancer becomes pristine and is ready for the next step to become an artist dancer. Tell us a little bit about that. And I want you to get a little bit into the journey of it, because is that for everybody? Because you have to tour. Talk a little bit about the touring also.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that it's not for everyone. And some people only see the glitz and the glam of, touring, but, it gets lonely on tour as well, and you don't get to see your family as much. So you really have to just be prepared on what it is that you are able to do and ready to do, and the journey never stops. People that are on tour, when I went on tour with Shakira, the journey never stops. You have to continue training. You have to continue getting yourself, your mindset more engaged, more strong, like a little bit more powerful, with strength, your spirit too, because it just changes. It's not an everyday, something happens the same every single day. It's constantly changing, So it
doesn't get redundant.
It's a journey. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It could if you allow it to. And I think that's for anything, it definitely could, but only those that really want to do it will be in it and feel that happiness of doing it. Some people do it and they don't like it, and they complain about certain different things, and maybe it wasn't for them at that time. But with everything, I feel that you have that opportunity to be a voice and to change something, to make it better, to acknowledge. And that's really, as an artist, you have that power, you have that power to say this isn't right, or I don't enjoy doing this. How can we change it as a dancer? And as a dancer, we can't feel like we have to just be quiet all the time. Right. Know when to, because just when you come in the game, you can't just be talking what you want to do right away, because that doesn't happen either.
Exactly.
You need to know when, you need to be aware, know your place as well. And I feel like if we all are aware of that, we can move this art form even further ahead, because there's generations that are coming forward,
Exactly.
And we want it to grow. We don't want it to fall back.
Right. And there's so much competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Competition, which sucks. It's just, we have to support more. I feel like we have to see less competition and show more support, because we could learn from each other, and we're not like anybody else. So we have to just lose that comparison and let it fuel you to do more. I remember just seeing different people or different dancers or different business owners, and never once thinking, I wish I could. It was like, okay, how? Let me figure that out. Let that be my fuel to figure it out my own way and do my own thing, because there's inspiration everywhere. Yeah. So we could all do it.
Let me ask you, and what do you sacrifice when you're on the road?
A lot, you sacrifice, number one, your family. Mm-hmm. Some are moms that, decide to do it, their kids as well. They'll come back and forth, but that's obviously a huge sacrifice. Maybe you get on tour early and school, and you have to quit school and you go for your dream. Maybe you come back. I think there's sacrifice for everything. It's a beautiful thing. It's like I said, it's not for everybody, but it is for certain people, and
Right.
and it's a fun life. It is fun, and you get to do what you love doing every single day. You just constantly have to remind yourself of that, because I've spoken with friends of mine that are on tour, and they're like, oh, another day and it's hard. I'm like, wait, remember 2 years ago where you wanted to be, and you're here now. So you got to count your blessings. And then from here, where do you go? We can't go to the next thing and then go, oh, but I wish it was this. Because that doesn't happen that way.
Exactly.
We're the motivation and the light that we can make it better for ourselves. Or if you sit in that and cry about it and just be, then it's going to be awful. You're not going to have fun doing it anymore.
Now that you've been in the business 15 years.
Studio open 15 years.
Well, yes. I'm so sorry. Your location en Hialeah, progresando por 15 años.
Yes, 15 años.
15 años. You look back now. I want you to tell me a little bit about the journey, how you feel now, and if you had a time machine, like a DeLorean, like in Back to the Future, what would you tell yourself? Go back in time and say, what would you tell yourself?
Knowing what I know now?
Well, knowing what you know now.
Knowing what I know now, I would go back. I mean, right when I opened the studio, I would go back and just say, like, you're doing it. Don't give up. I never did, but I had that thing of like, oh, I remember just sitting there go, I hope people come. I hope somebody
show up, right?
I hope somebody shows up. And it was a very scary space for 2-3 years. People see me now and they go, oh, you're so lucky. I'm like, wait, that's not luck at all. It's hard work. Yes, and it's a lot of people see what they want to see only. And I'm very open in my Instagram too of all the hardships that I've gone through. But I feel like it's important for people to understand that it wasn't just what it is now. And I still don't sleep that much, because I'm constantly working, because I know 15 years from now, I want my future 15 years from now to tell me right now, go, let's go, dale, like you can go more, where we're going to be. And I have goals. So I would tell my beginning stages and my younger self just to power on even more, that she's doing the right thing. And if you're in that mindset of just being a good human, like I keep saying, and you do good things with good intentions and not with jealousy or envious intentions or malicious, you're gonna succeed. Like the universe, it's just gonna go, here you go, when you work hard for it, And I feel like that's very important. And I would say I'm proud of her.
Excellent. That's beautiful. Let me ask you, people that want to reach out to you, where can they find you? Besides Hialeah, tell us your address in Hialeah.
Showstopper Miami. Our Instagram is at Showstopper Miami. And our email is info@showstoppermiami.
And what are your open hours?
We're open every day, Monday through Thursday. I'm sorry, and we're open from 5 o'clock to 11 p.m. And then Saturdays we're open from 11 to 2.
Excellent.
Yes.
And you also do. I read while I was going through your Instagram, you also can do, like, if somebody maybe wants to do like a private thing.
We offer everything. It's a hub, like it's legit. We have artists like Rosalia, we've had Chris Brown, we have Cardi B come to the studio and create their music videos or their tours. Rao Alejandro, Manuel Turizo. We've had so many, Carol G, I think I said that. We've had so many people come in to create. So that's one aspect. We have people that are in the pro industry, NBA, NFL. From my background, I've judged in the NFL and in the Dolphins cheerleaders. I really prep these girls to go into that bracket. So I have the mock auditions that are happening, which is a pro team. I have all the directors of Miami, everybody that's important that are picking the teams now, from the Heat, from the Dolphins, from the Panthers, from Dallas Cowboys also. They're going to be in the judging tables.
Oh, wow, Dallas too.
It's pretty cool. And all these girls, things that I wish I would have had, because I went in at 18 years old going, what do I do now? I don't know how to do my makeup. I don't know how to do my hair. And I made mistakes. And if I would have had something like this, it would have been even more. But coulda, woulda, shoulda. This is why we're here now.
Para los próximos 15 años.
Exactly.
There we go.
So these dancers could just learn and go, all right, how do I do it and they're gonna receive a packet with all these directors' information and notes. How amazing is that?
Yeah.
You know?
You've done all the hard work for them.
Yeah, exactly. It's so accessible.
We got to
there.
hit that little, it's so easy.
It's so easy
now.
It really is. It really is now. It really is now.
Well, guys, it's really easy now to become a dancer. And if you have that feeling that you want to dance or you've never danced before and you want to learn, go to Showstoppers. You're going to meet Susie. She is the best.
Thank you.
And if you really like this show, please give me a like. And if you really, really, really like it, please share it with all your friends. Have a great weekend, and thank you for watching.